All right, let's jump right in. We're talking about AI in 2025, and let me tell you, it's not just another upgrade, it's a whole new ballgame. So today, we're going to decode what this massive shift in technology is all about.
So you might be asking, what's the big deal? Why is 2025 the year for AI? And the answer, well, it's not just that things are getting faster. Nope. It's that AI can do things it has never been able to do before. And this really sums it up perfectly. It reasons, it sees, and it acts. I mean, think about that. It can reason through really tricky problems. It can actually see and understand what's in a picture or a video. And the big one, it can act on all that information to get stuff done all by itself.
Okay, so let's get into what this new era of AI actually looks like. Forget about the simple chatbots you might have played with. We are talking about something way more powerful, something that's woven into, well, pretty much everything. And right here, this is the key concept you need to know, agentic AI. This is the real game changer. Think about it like this. We're moving away from AI as a passive tool, like a calculator where you have to punch in everything. Now, it's an autonomous agent. You can give it a big complex goal, like, hey, plan a whole marketing campaign for me, and it can figure out all the steps and just do it. And wow, the tech itself is moving at lightning speed. Just look at what the big players are doing. You can see a few major trends popping up. You've got GPT-5, which is this unified system that can switch between quick, surface-level thinking and deep, complex reasoning. Super smart. Then you've got Llama 4, which is built from day one to handle images, text, everything. And that context window, up to 10 million tokens. That's just massive. And then Gemini 2.5 is all in on what they call large action models, which is basically the engine that powers that agentic stuff we were just talking about.
So that's the tech. But what does it actually do in the real world? Well, it's turning into this massive economic engine that is completely reshaping entire industries from the ground up. Yeah, just look at that number. $4.4 trillion. That's the potential value generative AI could add to the global economy every single year. Now, this isn't just some made-up number. It comes from real productivity gains, creating totally new products, and making complex systems way more efficient. To put that in perspective, that's like adding the entire economy of a country like Germany to the world annually. Just wow.
And this is not just theory, okay? This is happening right now. You've got Siemens losing AI to predict when equipment might fail, which has cut power outages by 25%. You have Walmart totally overhauling their supply chains with AI-powered routing. JP Morgan Chase is automating the grunt work of reviewing complicated loan agreements, saving tons of time. And check this out. Companies like Zest AI are actually increasing loan approvals for people who were previously underserved by over 40%. It's having a real-world impact. And if you want a perfect before and after snapshot of the productivity jump, this is it. An agricultural company used to spend a full week counting their livestock by hand. Now, with AI-powered drones, they get it done in a few minutes. That's the kind of leap we're talking about. It's not just a little better, it's a whole different scale. Now, this massive wave isn't just hitting the business world. It's also completely changing the game in education, all the way from K-12 up to the university level. And we're already seeing the proof. These aren't just hopes, these are real numbers. At Miami-Dade College, student pass rates went up 15%. Indiana University saw a 10% bump in exam grades. And this one's amazing, a 275% jump in learner agency for at-risk students in Brisbane. It's making a tangible difference for students. Okay, but here's the catch, and it's a big one. Even with all these clear benefits, we have this huge preparedness gap. More than half of all students in the US and almost half of teachers around the world have had absolutely zero training in AI. So we've got this incredibly powerful new tool, but we're not actually teaching anyone how to use it properly. That's a problem. The good news, though, is that the tide is starting to turn. Universities are waking up to this. Take Ohio State, for example. They're now requiring all undergraduates to be fluent in generative AI. That's a huge step, and you can bet we're going to see a lot more of this becoming a core part of the curriculum everywhere. All right, let's pull back and look at the bigger picture for a second, because none of this is happening in a bubble. This tech explosion is right at the heart of a massive global race, a race for money, for power, and for who's going to lead the world in AI. And in this global race, money absolutely talks. This chart, well, it says it all, doesn't it? Private investment in AI for 2024. The US is at over $100 billion. That's more than 10 times what China and the UK invested, combined. That just goes to show you where the capital is flowing and where a lot of the development is being driven from. And as the tech moves faster and faster, the race to regulate it is heating up too. You can see back in 2019, interest just exploded. Now, governments are scrambling to catch up. You've got major new laws like the EU's AI Act, and even at the state level here in the US, places like Colorado are setting their own rules. The rulebook is being written as we speak. And that brings us to this really important geopolitical idea, sovereign AI. What is that? Well, it's basically nations deciding they want to keep their AI close to home. They're building their own frameworks to make sure their data, their AI models, and their computing power all stay safely within their own borders. It's all about control and security. So, we've talked tech, we've talked business, we've talked geopolitics, but what does all of this mean for you and me, for us? That brings us to maybe the most important piece of the puzzle, the human element in this increasingly automated world. Just read this quote. It's from business leaders, and 2/3 of them are saying this. We would not hire a candidate without AI skills. Let that sink in. It's not a nice to have anymore. It's a ticket to entry. The job market has fundamentally changed. And yet, here's the great irony. Demand for AI skills is through the roof, right? But the number one thing stopping companies from actually using AI is that they can't find people who have those skills. Almost half of top executives say this talent gap is their biggest single roadblock. So what we're looking at is a massive skill shift. First, you've got the disruption. Nearly 40% of the skills we use at work today are expected to change. Then you have the demand. LinkedIn is seeing a massive 177% surge in people adding AI skills to their profiles. So what's the final step? Adaptation. The big takeaway here is that continuous learning isn't just a good idea anymore. It is absolutely essential if you want to stay relevant. And that leaves us with one final and I think very important question to think about. The AI is learning at an exponential rate. It's getting smarter, faster, and more capable every single day. The real question is, are we?